Hello, nerds. Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. We are doing another reaction video. This time we are reacting to Cold, Quiet Now, off of their new record, The Things We Can't Stop, which is apparently available now. I did not realize this record was coming out because Cold kind of falls under my radar fairly regularly, because they kind of stopped making music as far as I know for a little while. So them coming back with a new record, they came out with one 2 years ago or so, I believe. Now they are signed to Napalm Records, which is an interesting choice for Cold. And yeah, let's hit an intro before we get too far ahead of ourselves, and we'll get into some expectations for the video. All right, so expectations. Cold, when they were at their peak, a la 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage. I can't remember the record that came out after that, but those two records were kind of when they were at their peak. If you heard the Stupid Girl song, I believe that was on the one after 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage. I can't remember the single from 13. But like they kind of have this formula that fits for them, and they experiment with it a little bit, but they don't really venture too far from there. So what do I expect from this new Cold record? Well, the reason we're doing this was because I saw in a news headline something about how creepy the music video is. So that's one of the things. I'm hoping the music video is legitimately creepy and not just somebody trying to get clicks. But as far as the sound, I imagine this is going to be a band, again, going off of their older stuff. This will be sonically something that kind of bucks the trend. We're going to hopefully hear things a little more distinctively. Again, I'm specifically speaking about the bass and kind of that mid-low area in the EQ. I'm hoping that we have some definition in that as far as the sound. As far as the arrangement goes, there's probably going to be a lot of atmospheric elements to this. Instrumentally, I'm also not gonna go so far as to say an acoustic portion or some sort of acoustic in the arrangement, but probably we're gonna get a portion of one of these sections will be in a clean tone. Again, not gonna go so far as to say it'll be an acoustic clean style, but it will be clean in that, because that's one of the things, because they don't really venture too far away from 4/4. I would imagine they have some 3/4 stuff and very likely some 2/4 stuff, but really by and large a band like Cold keeps it pretty simple as far as time signatures go. They want it to be fairly easily digestible, so you stay in 4/4 for that, because that's a very natural rhythm for people to get into. So because they don't do that, they do play with the dynamics as far as loud and quiet go. So that's an anticipation as well, the expectation as well. So let's get into the video. I really like Cold too, so that should be noted. Like 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage is a seminal late 90s, early 2000s rock / metal record. Piano, not clean tone on guitar, but I was right-ish. Definitely shying away from their heavier sounds, it seems, in their older age. So this makes it easier to hear all of the things that are going on, because the guitar is not taking up a lot of sonic space. You've got plenty of room to play. You've got a lot of space for the drums to sit in, and the bass. But again, we're not getting a whole lot of character out of that bass, man. Just those low rumbling root notes. Wow, and I can't remember the lead vocalist's name. I'll see if I can look it up. But playing with their playing with his sonics as far as where he's singing from, because in the older material, he was very much a chest voice, kind of swallowing the tone kind of sound, kind of which pitched it down a little bit. This, though, is a lot more head voice. I kind of dig it. I'm not gonna lie. Post grunge is what Wikipedia says they are. I guess I can see that. Scooter Ward, that's right. Scooter Ward is the vocalist. He's really grown into his voice, I feel like. But alright, so let's... There was a little bit of movement there with that, with the bass on that section. So let's see if we can get into... Hold on. It's muddy, but it's there. Nice. Now, if the EQ on that bass were a little bit tweaked, give us a little bit more on the top end, so we get some more character out of it, I bet that would have been much more effective. But yeah, I've always liked Scooter's voice. Even this change in his voice, I really appreciate. But like I said, nothing crazy as far as the arrangement goes. Lots of up and down dynamically, though. Loud, quiet kind of stuff. Not a haunting video, not a scary video. A well-shot video. I really dig the aesthetic of the video. I feel like there's... And then we get into our bridge solo section. Yeah, straightforward A-B-A-C. I guess this is pretty heavy, though, considering the subject matter in the video. Not heavy sounding. There's not a lot of crunchy guitars in here. So here's the other thing about... Oops. Here's the other thing about this post-grunge and the throwback rock. I think they were calling it for a minute, like Hinder and that kind of stuff. Post-grunge is... And that's why I say I kind of can see it with Cold. But post-grunge is Days of the New. Creed's first record you could kind of call post-grunge, but... That's kind of where that sits. So this, I can see it accompanying that kind of stuff. It's a little more just straight up rock and roll. Like there's no subgenre needed when you say it. And I just lost my train of thought. The thing about this stuff. Oh, is it drags? 3.5 minutes. We could have ended the song. Like it looks like we have a whole nother verse, which means we're going to get a little bit more piano and some more stoic lyrics, and kind of a more dynamic out probably. But we could have come to an end here ish, and made this a much more succinct song. And that's just me, because to me this kind of stuff is pop music. This is I mean, it's I wouldn't go so far as to compare it to Britney Spears, but this is something in that vein a little more than it is something in the vein of a Nirvana or something like that. And even Nirvana wrote short tunes, so 4 minutes and 21 seconds for this seems long, and it feels a little long as well. But then something like Stupid Girl, which I really loved, is approximately, I believe Stupid Girl comes in at about 4 minutes, and it doesn't feel like it drags at all, and it has a lot of repetition in it too. So I don't know, I could just be talking on my butt. Very atmospheric. Those effects on his voice, that's great. And you can there is some presence from the bass. I don't want to poop on it too much, but there is some presence in the bass. You can hear the movement in that bass. Huh. All right. So that's the new Cold tune, man. Pretty heavy video as far as subject matter goes, and dealing with the death of a child is always not fun. That's what we've got, though. I kind of am disappointed a little bit. I really dig Cold. I'm not gonna make two ways about it. I appreciate the band. Have that 13 Ways to Bleed on stage record, and I think I might have just got the MP3 for Stupid Girl. I don't know if I got that whole record, but either way, they have solid songwriting. Again, I feel like you probably could have chopped about 20 to 30 seconds at least off of that tune and had it be just as or if not more effective. But yeah, pretty good tune. I am a little disappointed again that there was not bottom end. We're missing some life from the bass, but it's going to be an ongoing issue, man. It makes me so sad. Yeah, that's what we've got, though, guys. What did you think? What did you think of the video? What did you think of the song? Let's talk about it down in the comments, and my production notes and things. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Would you have mixed that differently? Let's have that conversation for sure. That being said, there are other things going on the channel. You can click either of these two boxes, and you can get the other things going on. You can click this one right here if you want to subscribe. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and check out the other things. GenerallyNerdy.net is the website. Patreon.com/GenerallyNerdy is the place to go support more directly and get even more content. There's a bunch of freebie stuff up on the website. There's even more stuff on the pay site. So check out Patreon.com/GenerallyNerdy to get all of that. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.